fact, I have a couple of really great articles about the effects of stress. Just real quickly, from the Psychological Medical Research has proven that emotions control your health, healing, and longevity. And I highlighted a couple of things here. It says that not managing stress is more dangerous than smoking or even high cholesterol.
Wow.
I thought that was a 20-year research done by the University of London. I thought that was interesting. Also, 50% of job absentees is caused by stress. I'm sure that employers would love to hear that.
Yes.
And that optimists live 20% longer than pessimists. And that's research done by Donald Hensrud, MD, director of the Mayo Clinic Executive Health Program. So I thought that was really some interesting statistics. Plus, I've got a bunch of stuff off the internet again about what's about stress, examples of stress-related illnesses, and they talk about migraine headaches and other headaches are stress-related. That's 16 to 18 million migraine headache sufferers in the United States, and 70% of them are women. I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, it talks about how relaxation and stress management is the most immediate way of coping with stress, especially stress headaches.
I've definitely seen that in my practice.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, I know instantly. When people come in with headaches, we have techniques we can do with them right then and there that almost instantly take away the headaches. And for migraine people, it's such a blessing. And I've even gone to people's homes to help them with migraine because I know it gets so debilitating. Sometimes they can't even leave.
Again, after they've seen their medical doctor for the
That's
condition.
right, always adjunct. Talks about how muscle tension, and they just talked about in the video how it causes stiff shoulders and shoulder aches, and lower back pain are also complaints, and all age groups. Heart attacks and high blood pressure is caused by, they call it unresolved stress, stacking stress, which is if you're a little bit stressed out because maybe work was a little bit hard that afternoon, then you get home and maybe there's something going on at home and that's a little bit stressed, so you start stacking it, and then if you don't sleep on top of that, which if you've had a hard day, sometimes the committee in your head, that chatterbox in your head gets activated, and then you don't sleep. So that's like stacking stress, and really leads to some major issues in your body. Insomnia is also a stress-related illness, which I thought was, that makes perfect sense. Cancer, a lot of different types of cancer. It says that stress is a major contributor to the cause of cancer because it weakens the immune system, so it has fewer and weaker cells to do the work of fighting off any of the problems. And what can you do to relieve that stress and reduce the possibilities of even getting cancer? And it talks about relaxation is probably the best immediate stress management technique available. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That just some relaxation can change our whole way we experience life in our body.
Yeah, it's exactly what Christopher just said in that video, that he says our bodies weren't designed to run from the bear all the time.
Right.
That's what I'm hearing, that
Exactly.
chronic stress is weakening the immune system. So lots of ways that you can have more relaxation in your life, including the things that were talked about in that last video. Hypnotherapy relaxing CDs, one of my favorite things to do is make and distribute and listen to those CDs. So
yeah, it's
lots of
wonderful.
really good ways. Now, again, in the interest of time, we have a lot more things we could talk about, but I really wanted to show the clip on the surgery with hypnosis. So hypnosis or hypnotherapy is great for pain control, and all over the world it's been used for hundreds of years in surgery, well, at least since the 1840s that I know of. So I said hundreds, so at least 160 years when Dr. James Esdale was using it in India for surgery as a way to, there wasn't ether or anesthesia at that time, so people who underwent surgery were in a lot of pain when they did that. And he did hundreds of surgeries there with hypnosis as a form of pain control. And at that time, there was about a 50% mortality rate when you had surgery, so 1 in 2 chance that you were going to die. When Dr. James Esdale was using hypnosis in the procedures, there was only about a 5% chance of dying because the patients were so relaxed. So he dropped the mortality rate from 50 to 5% just by introducing hypnosis as pain control.
That's amazing. I know I've heard a lot about when people use hypnosis for pain control, and especially in surgeries, there's a lot less infection. There's usually no cause or no infection in the body. Which is really amazing.
Right. It's that deep, relaxed state, the body knowing what to do. So the clip that we're going to show you is of Dr. John Butler, who is himself a hypnotherapist. And
do we have enough time to show this clip? It's about a 7-minute clip.
You know what, Mitch? We don't. We're going to have to show it at the beginning
Let's
of our
show it
next
at the very beginning of the next show. So
Okay.
next week, tune in for this. You guys have got to check in to see this video on pain control. It's really
We didn't mean to
fascinating.
leave you a cliffhanger. We just
Yeah,
get excited
sorry. I know,
and start
I
talking.
hate when shows do this.
I
You
know.
Continued.
Yes. So we're going to show that John Butler clip where he uses the pain control for surgery. And in the meantime, we can talk about a few of the other things that are really great applications of hypnotherapy. And one of my favorite things, again, is dentistry. There's a lot of fear around going to the dentist.
Oh, I know. Well, I've had to work on that myself. I've had to do a couple of sessions on just getting to the dentist, for one thing. But also, again, with pain control, I used to pass out in the dentist chair. I had some pretty traumatic experiences when I was young. And now,
I remember those stories.
Yeah, it was
wow.
pretty intense. We literally strapped into the chair, and it was pretty intense. But anyway, now I go to the dentist, and she cracks up. She's like, "Okay, ready to go to your place?" And I just go to this wonderful special place that I go to, and I could take all that dentistry work now. In fact, it almost hurts good. I actually kind of like it now. I get excited when I have to go to the dentist. So it is really powerful.
I know what you mean. Whenever they begin working on my mouth, I close my eyes and I pretend or imagine vividly that I am one of the presidents in Mount Rushmore. And so that my teeth are made out of stone. I've never told you that.
I never heard that one. I love that. That's a good one.
And that I imagine the dental hygienist or the dentist on the little ropes. If Dr. Tilson hears me say that, he's going to be like, "This is what she's doing."
So that's where she's been
because
while
I've
I do
never
the
told
work,
them
right?
what I'm doing. But I can see them kind of scaling down my face, like what is that called? Rappelling.
Rappelling down, yeah.
And they have their little pickaxes, so they get right to my mouth and my teeth, and they just start chipping, the tart off my teeth. And I could it feels like my entire face just turns to stone. My entire mouth is stone. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so they're just, fixing things up. And that's totally
excellent.
where I go for that.
You know where I go? I don't know if I've ever told you this. I take off on my dragon. I have a dragon named Merlin. So I take off on Merlin, and I go higher and higher, and I climb up to the top of Mount Mitch, which is on planet Mitch. And it's like about 17,000
Mount
feet. So
Mitch?
Mount Mitch, it's the best snowboarding place in the entire universe. So I go all the way up there on my dragon. And as I go up, it gets colder and colder and colder. My hands get really cold, and then I just send that cold into my mouth because breathing that air. So my face goes pretty numb from the cold air, and I'm having such a good time, I don't care. So that's where I'm at when I'm at the dentist, and my mouth is totally comfortable and completely numb, and I'm snowboarding and riding dragons.
Perfect. It sounds like you're doing a slight alteration of what we term glove anesthesia.
Right.
Or a way that we teach clients how to numb generally their hand and then apply that to whatever
their
part
face,
of their
right.
body that they want to be numb.
I know people have used it for their neck, for thyroidectomies, and used it for their mouth, for different kinds of surgeries and dental work.
Yes, and I have a little bit of a squeamishness around surgery, so I've seen a lot of these videos on people doing that, and sometimes, like with Dr. Angel in Spain, people don't even have their eyes closed. They're actually open and
talking about makeup. I know there was that one woman who was talking about putting on her makeup with her friend while he was drilling through her leg.
Yes.
It was pretty explicit.
So it just goes to show exactly what your mind can do when you have a direct, clear goal and you have the tools on how you want to get there. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your mind. And what we term amazing, because we're so used to living in this reality that we've created of, these are our limitations, that when you start looking outside of that box and really kind of start poking around and digging to see what's happening all over the world and how people are using their minds to do amazing.
There is no limitation. Yeah.
Exactly.
No limitation.
That was two. I had to get a second exactly in there before the end of our show.
We're exactly done with time now, so I think that our show is exactly over.
All right, well, I'm going to keep the intro while you say bye to folks.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. And again, please come, please join us next week. We're going to show this great clip of a surgery done with hypnosis. And learn a little bit about some pain control. And we're also going to have a great interview with Patrick Singleton, an NLP practitioner and master NLP. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. And thank you, Brandy.
Thank
I
you.
had another great time.
Me too. Good night, everyone.
Good night.